Sold off Instagram. You're not going to believe this. Does it actually work? We're going to talk about it this morning. Stay tuned. Queen of socials, Lisa Novak.
Love this topic. Love this topic. I said to you this morning, Billy, we actually don't talk that much about the results from social media. So what a great topic to cover. I had someone yesterday reach out to me and say, oh, your videos, Lisa, I don't know, I don't know. I think we should do some professional ones. And I was like, wait, what? This stuff actually does work, believe it or not. I just want to tell everyone a bit of a fun fact, Billy. 7 years ago, when I started off in real estate sales, yes, just 7 years ago, I did this very raw, authentic video for a vendor out of necessity. Actually, the vendor was terminally ill and he didn't have any money for marketing. And even though I'd offered to pay for the marketing, he was an extremely humble man and he just simply wouldn't accept it. So I thought, I'm going to just try doing this video and put it out onto my Facebook page. And it was a very raw, very authentic video. You can imagine rewinding back 7 years ago, what that must have looked like. Now we're really used to seeing that kind of content. And I remember standing at the front of his property. I'm down here on Pacific Parade. I've got this great 2-bedroom apartment. Anyway, put it onto my Facebook page. And then I got a phone call from a real estate agent. And she goes, Lisa, I've just seen this video that you've done on your Facebook page. And I was like, I was literally blown away. I thought, oh my God, I can't believe someone even actually saw this video. Anyway, she went on to say, it's horrendous. It's unprofessional and you're embarrassing the industry and you should really think about removing the video. And my first call was to Mark and I was like, oh my goodness, I think I've just actually made a fool of myself. And I went to remove the video. It's a true story. I went to remove the video and then I thought to myself, hang on a minute, this has actually got nothing at all to do with the industry. And this has nothing at all to do with me. This is about a vendor who needs his property sold. And I did sell the property. I did sell the property off my Facebook page and I didn't have that many followers back then. Yeah. And I did get him a great result. And I must say it was at that moment and I thought, hang on, I think there's this massive big gaping hole in this industry called social media that no one is properly utilising.
Yep. That's that was the birth of our business, $0 marketing, getting people out onto more than just the database. It's the TV of today. And now it's 77% of agents are using social media in some kind of way for a professional. Wow. So it's, flip the other way. It's the majority.
It's unbelievable. Another story I had, and I've got millions and millions of them because, I've actually lost track now of how many properties I've actually sold via my social media. But, there was a lot of eyebrow raising right in the beginning. And even now, like, as I said, I had a phone call yesterday and, someone was questioning me about a video that we had done this, and they're just real. They're real. They're authentic. It's not like a slow walking agent, with their sunglasses on wandering through a kitchen. This is the real raw stuff. Yeah. And, I'm always saying the people vote. At the end of the day, the people being the community, being the audience, they're the ones that are saying, we love the authenticity. We love that it's not highly edited. They tell us that they enjoy it because they follow along. Those people that don't want to, don't have to, they can simply just click the unfollow button. But I think the property that I sold the quickest, actually I saw the vendors with you, Billy, at a property in Manly a couple of weeks ago. I had put their house, actually, sorry, I tell a lie. I was standing out the front of their house on the curbside in Freshwater. And I did a video. I said, guys, I've got this great property. It's about to come to market here in Freshwater. And literally within 5 minutes, I had a phone call. Lisa, where's that property? We want to come through and see it. That's exactly the street we want to be in. And 4 hours later, the property was exchanged. It was the street record at the time. It was exchanged unconditionally, and they hadn't even seen inside the house.
Yeah, it's so instant. It's so instant. Instant media, I think you've rebranded as, not social media. That's the difference between, getting a clunky advert or an email out to, someone and then for them to check it. The other thing it does, which I don't think I've ever heard anyone talk about, Lisa, is it targets 2 different types of buyers. We've got within a buyer network two very different types of buyers. You've got an active buyer, someone who's scrolling realestate.com on everyone's database, pretty much looking at property 2 and 3 hours a day. You've also then got the passive buyer, and sometimes they're the passive buyers which are the best of the kind because they're purely looking for something that just ticks their boxes, and if they see the right thing pop up, we hear it all the time. If you find me the right place, I'll move, but I'm not interested in looking at realestate.com because I'm happy where I am. And so
that's exactly right.
That lands into their lap.
You're 100% right. And the great thing, the way that analytics now work with social media is, it's the engagements. I think a lot of people get fixated on how many followers have you got and the likes and the follows. And sure, that's important, but that's not the way social media works anymore. And how many times I would hear in a day where people say, Lisa, the weirdest thing, I was with a girlfriend last night who I hadn't seen in 30 years. And she goes, it's the weirdest thing. All of a sudden, all your Instagram posts have started popping up. Your phone's listening to you, and it's all it's all those, it's the analytics and it's that engagement. So if you engage with one of our videos, chances are it's going to continue to pop up. But here's the fast facts. It works. And that is the bottom line. We can get your property out to hundreds of thousands, millions of eyeballs within seconds. That is faster than any professional photography. That is faster than getting you onto any real estate portal. Not to say that those portals don't work. Absolutely they do. But as Billy said, we've got buyers there. I mean, Mark has sold to one client off his Instagram 7 properties. And the guy wasn't looking to buy a single one, but he saw something in Manly, then he saw a storage, then he saw actually one of those properties was some townhouses that we sold to him that I had in Arthur Street, DY. He saw that and thought, hang on a sec, this is good stock. And he's inquired without actually even looking. He was never looking to buy. Billy, you didn't you weren't on doing this sort of stuff on Insta when you came into our office. I feel like sometimes as part of the employment agreement for our employees, it's like sign the contract and here you go, here's a camera in your face.
and make an Instagram handle. But yeah, it's true. It's built a platform and it has opened a lot of doors. It's introduced me to a lot of people that you would just never meet in a social setting. I think it's just a way to give yourself a small introduction, and people will, then automatically take that small introduction and run with it. They feel like they've sort of known you, or they feel like they've spoken to you before. So it does help. It's a bit of an icebreaker, put it that way. And
well, it is.
What everyone wants.
Absolutely, it is. And, not only that, not only are we able now to sell properties via not just Instagram, but actually Mark's TikTok account does so well. It's actually hysterical. But not only is it off Instagram, but it's Facebook, it's LinkedIn, it's right across all of those portals, all of those social media channels, I should say. For me, Instagram is the big one. The organic following. I know I've covered it before with the faux influencers. Buying followers and things like that is just a massive, massive no-no. The way to do it is build your followers organically. And I'm always saying, if you give the people the content that they want, like read the play of what your tribe wants, your followers want. And that's the sort of content that you need to be feeding to them. And we do so much, right? We don't just list and sell property off social media, but we do all sorts of things. We do this morning minutes every morning. We do what's the property market doing in 15 seconds. I mean, I've been out in Canley Vale. I actually don't even really know where that is. I think it's out west somewhere. We went to a restaurant there and someone came up and asked us, what's the property market doing in 15 seconds? But not only that, it's been a phenomenal listing tool as well. A lot of my appraisals come through via my social media. I know it's been great for you as well, Billy.
Yeah, for me, I just love it that it hosts. It's like a library, and it hosts the information in one place. And I'm constantly pulling off the socials. Sometimes I don't even care if not one person looks at it, because I use it for me. And then as a buyer says, "Oh, have you got any old photos or videos of that property?" It's straight out from there. So it's a good place to keep everything you need in one place.
Absolutely. My Mark and I have got two girls, 27-year-old and a 19-year-old. And they always used to bag me about my social media. Oh my God, Mum, it's so bad. You need to get someone to help you with your content. I'm like, I don't want someone to help me with my content. It's just me being me. And now they say to me, Mum, so I've got my friend, they're like absolutely fangirling you. They really, really want to meet you. Like, oh, things have changed now, have they, girls? I see how this goes. It's so funny. We've
Yeah.
got some comments there, Billy.
Yeah. Good morning, Luke. Hope you're well. Haven't
Morning,
seen Luke
Luke.
in ages, so I hope you're
Where have
well.
you been,
And
Luke? It's probably been running around the country, literally.
yeah, probably. And Brendan tuned in yesterday. It's
Hey,
always nice to
Brendan.
see you,
Yes.
Brendan. Good morning.
Legend. So there you have it, guys. Does it really work? Absolutely, it does. The facts are there. Only just a few weeks ago, I actually had a lovely vendor who was following my Instagram. She reached out to me, asked me to sell her apartment in DY. I put it onto my Instagram. We had 14 groups come through that property. We had sold it in less than 24 hours. She said, I've been watching all of this on Instagram for years. Now I've witnessed it myself. And then her buyer actually ended up buying the property as a result of Instagram as well. Then I listed another property down the road in the same street, listed that, put that onto my Instagram, sold that as well. This was just a few weeks ago, Billy, Holborn Avenue. Sold that in, was it 24 or 48 hours? Very quickly. Absolute record price for this 3-bedroom apartment. Then had the neighbour call me from upstairs and say, we saw what you did downstairs. Can you sell ours as well? And then put that onto my Instagram. And we literally sold that for a massive price within 24 hours. And that is the power of social media. And listen, the vendors didn't pay a single cent in marketing.
Yeah. Luke's put it really well there. It's just another touch point. It's just another thing you can offer, and it's rare. You can offer it and you don't need something in return. How many times do we say you can have this, but it's $3,500 realestate.com?
Absolutely. And listen, nothing to do with the real estate portals. This is another channel. I often say they're like TV channels. We used to have in the good old days live to air. We've still got them, but now there's a whole lot more. But you can watch 7, 9, 10, ABC, Netflix, whatever you want to be watching. They're all different channels. You've got to make sure that you are tuning into all of those different channels, because there's different demographics on all of them. And, it's not just social media that we're doing. Of course, we're doing the real estate portals. Domain, those guys are doing an amazing job, by the way. I'm not just saying that because they're coming in this morning, but they genuinely are. They're doing an amazing job. Realestate.com. All the signboards that we do talking boards. All the letterbox drops that we do direct mail outs. We do all sorts of things endless amounts of signage. We have a big sticker machine in the office, and we just literally cover the whole of the northern beaches in all sorts of signage. So it does work. Definitely does work. There you go. The people have voted. Brendan tunes in almost every single morning, learns a lot of the stuff about real estate from, the content, hopefully. I'm speaking on behalf of Brendan, but, the content that we put out every morning. It's here to help you guys. That's all it is. It's here to help the community.
Love it. Well,
There
have a
we
good
go.
day.
That's a wrap. You too, guys. Enjoy the 30-degree day that is to be here in Sydney. Have a great one. Thank you, Billy.
See ya. Thanks. Bye.